Just tell me if everything's working.
Okay, looks like it's going. It looks like it's going. It's publishing 60%. And that is finally a 100% publishing. We are now officially live. And man, oh man, what challenge we have had this evening. Not only have I had load shedding, we've had to pack up my entire rig that I have for all the streaming. This is the first session of the Porsche Trophy Challenge, Season 4 for SARCO, and it's taken me just about over 3.5 hours to make sure that I get you on time. Thank you very much to my brother-in-law, Vince and Irvin. You've been an absolute savior. Unfortunately, guys, the stream 18 minutes late going live, and we are just about halfway through the first of the qualifiers. We have got 8 qualifying rounds out this evening, and what's going to be happening is there are 40 drivers that have entered into this championship. These drivers will each be given 3 chances to put in their best time. And I've just got a message from my wife saying we don't have load shedding. So thank you very much, Esker, after all this effort. And you can hear Memo laughing in the background, who's helping us direct the cameras here this evening. Thank you very much, Memo.
That's fine. Thank you for having me here, Dylan, and letting me help you with this. Well done to Escom. I mean, really, that's. But more, I would like to say well done to you for actually having that commitment to carry all of that stuff to your brother-in-law. That's just incredible, man.
Listen,
we should get like a noddy badge or something. I don't know.
So let's just go back to. You'll see at the bottom of the screen we do have Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster have joined us this season as the official lead sponsor for this Porsche Trophy Challenge. And just wanting to take a closer look at some of these times, but just note that this is the first round of 8 qualifying rounds that we're going to see. So guys, if you are on the stream, give us a holler, say how's it. We see Morris who's really come past. He's saying enjoy, guys. Peter Heidemann, good luck everyone. The drifting. Yeah, this car is a little bit tricky. What do you think, Neville?
I was actually trying to do some times with it. I'm not the best driver here. I did manage a 128, which from what I can see is not very good. When I can see these 124s, and yeah, it's a beast to keep in a straight line. It's just that backside pops out all the time, and you're constantly adjusting and adjusting with absolutely no possibility to adjust that downforce. You just get what you get and you go for it.
Well, that's what I love about this car, and that's why we chose it, because what's going to be happening is after these qualifying rounds are done, we're going to be splitting the tiers. So the Alpha tier, they will be driving in the GT3 Porsche, and with us having 40 drivers, we're going to be having not only a Bravo tier, but a Charlie tier as well.
Oh, that's great news, Dylan. And from what I understood, the Bravo tier and the Charlie tier, they go up and down towards each other or not?
No, that's 100%. So what we do is there will be the 2 different tiers. We'll be driving at the same time. We will only be streaming the Bravo tier, but there will be a promotion and a relegation between those 2 tiers. So the guys that are in the Charlie will have an opportunity to come and show their stuff live here on our SARCO esports channel. So 3 minutes left of round number 1, and Jake's a 124.9, Craig 125.1, followed very closely by Theo. Theo on a 125.2, so 1.1 of a second there. We got Gavin, he's joined us this season. He didn't drive with us through last season, other than just a couple of races in the game. We then got Connor, he's in 5th place. I think, Connor, it's about time you got yourself your own little PSN there. Your dad's one needs to be, I suppose, lent to him. That's Ross in 6th place. Now, Ross has qualified for this league already, having finished 3rd in our Formula Renault 3.5 V8. So Ross looks like he's batting with a little bit of pace, but he will should be automatically qualified. Then we have JJ, who's foot fiery, new to the season. He's joined us for his first time racing here at SARCO, and it looks like he's going to be mixing up in the middle there. In 8th place, that's Vaughan Hills. So Vaughan Hills, he too has got himself a spot secured here in the Alpha tier, and that's because he finished in 2nd place in the Bravo tier in the former Renaults with his brother. So we have 5 spots that are already taken, so there are 11 places available in the Alpha tier. Brandon down in 11th place, and we see a G&G, that is Scott Heidemann. And I see Brandon, he's running the pink livery, and that I'm sure is in support of brothers Scott and Carl with their mother being diagnosed with cancer, just to show their support there. Brandon in 11th place, and down in 12th place is Donovan. Donovan running a 129.5. Remember, so if you're saying a 127, that puts you right in the middle there.
Yeah, but that happened once, and I think it was invalidated, so I wouldn't get too excited about that. I think that's Scott, right? Is that Scott?
The G&G Pickle, that is Scott. That is
his brother. Well, he's not having a very good session, from what I can see. Here is Craig. This is the guy that persuaded me to join the racing tonight.
I must say, Memo, it's actually great to have you back, and I hope you enjoyed your welcome. Ross putting up a very touching song there, and I thought that was actually quite fitting for you.
The guy that persuaded me. I don't know, I didn't see anything like that, so I think I missed an episode or something. I don't know what that's about.
Oh man, so I'm just checking in on the Facebook page. We see Dirkie, he's watching there saying, Moy Jakes, Reeve Cornish. I did see you send me your number, but we've been just trying to get the stream ready for this evening. I promise you I will give you a call in the morning, sir, and let's see if we can't get you racing. So there's our next invite coming from Ryan, who will be the next host. Ross running very wide there. Let's just get this shared on Facebook. So guys, unfortunately I'm not running my full screen set up from home. I am bouncing between the one screen, so if I do miss your comments, I do apologize, but I will try and keep as many of those comments coming in. So now that we've been able to see the final standings, some of the guys will be on that final lap with 70 seconds left of the session. So far, Jake's 124.2, that is extremely fast, and I see Craig hasn't been able to go any quicker there, nor has Theo. Theo driving in the series as well. He missed out on some of the Season 2 leagues, but it's really good to see him joining us. So Connor moving up, he's now in 5th place with Gavin putting in a 125.3. That's an absolute fantastic effort there for him. So this is what happens when I'm not looking at the right screen. There we go. So I now have all the final results in, so we're able to take those scores, listen to me, those times. We will be unfortunately doing them at a later stage and putting up the results this coming weekend. But Memo, thank you very much. I know that you're going to be qualifying very shortly, so I'm going to be just jumping into the new lobby, and we'll see you later on. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay, so bye bye from me until my next stint.
Awesome, thank you, Memo. So here we go, guys, round number 2, and apologies, we are running just a little bit behind. Ryan, you just need to make me broadcaster, please, and we must just get Ross in here as he will be the director.
Damage is always on,
Yeah, but it says off there on my side.
well, let's be on.
Like, I still change it before we start on that.
Yeah, we are able to change it. So, Sarge, if you can just jump in there and just make sure that in the settings it is there. Thank you very much, Sarge, for jumping in at the last moment. Unfortunately, Ashley not able to join us this evening. Ashley called out to the office on a call out, so thank you very much. Sarge, thank you, Johan VDV, for using the code, because yes, we are officially Code Coconuts.
Well, God, you were almost there. I almost made it read for the line.
You go to damage, and you go up to the top. Where the track is, you just scroll through with your right pedal until you get the resistance settings to change on.
You well,
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. You sound like your old self.
I do, yes. I am feeling much better after a couple of weeks of being man down.
Yes.
And then, Sarge, just before you go, just drop old Ross as the director, please. I've added him already. He's in the lobby.
Hello. How do you do now?
Because it shows
What?
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah, it's like two. If it's right there, and then it's
Okay, Ross, are you in the Discord? I'm going to need you in the Discord, please. Okay, guys, so I do see that Theo is in lobby 2, but because he's been driving under Intrepid Striker, he can't have double qualifying, so we can continue. Is Ross director? Thank you kindly. Let's get cracking. So guys, we're about 10 minutes behind schedule. But I promise it will all be worthwhile once we get closer to the end times. Ross, were you just driving a little bit on your laurels there, knowing that you had qualified? Ross wasn't in the Discord just yet. I see that he is coming in now.
Can you hear me, man?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear, sir.
Good stuff. Okay, I'll be the designated director for this session then. Just let me know where you want the action pointed to.
100%. So we were watching you earlier on and saw that you were a little bit further down the field in 6th place. Were you just going for a drive out knowing that you qualified for this championship already?
It's just a lazy Thursday drive for me, man. Yeah, I'm just... I need to turn it on a wee bit, but there's some time yet. There's some time, so yeah.
So I had Memo in the lobby with me. He said that this car is absolutely crazy to drive. What are your thoughts on this car?
It takes some getting used to. So I've got some issues with understeer on it. The other guys have said they've got some oversteer issues with it. But it's nice if you take the time and learn how to drive it. It's quite pleasant. So yeah, it's I reserve judgment until the second and third sessions. Right, one person I would suggest watching is Marius on board, because he is absolutely rapid. So when he gets up to speed, we'll jump on board with him for it.
Yeah, definitely want to go for a little tour around this Sugo track. And it is quite an interesting track because it has that combination of fast sweeps, long straights, but then also heavy braking zones going into hairpins. And I generally do a lot of my testing around this track.
So Morris is definitely troubling the 24s this evening.
Yeah, we saw Jake's also great car control there for Morris, just flicking it through there. So while the guys are getting their tyres warmed up, I heard it clicking. So I do see that Memo is in the chat party with us on the Discord. So Memo, if you do want to just drop us a how's it while you get that lobby set up for the third session, feel free to say how's it. So we see a Daniel the War Machine. I know that he's supporting Johan VDV. Johan VDV in this session. I believe there he is currently on the top. So guys, give us your predictions. What do you think the current time is? We know that Jake's he led himself a 124.2 if I'm not mistaken. That's what my note said unless I wrote it down wrong. Theo, we just wanted to know that on the entry list we've got you as Intrepid Striker as well as Eleanor Theo. So we have disqualified Eleanor Theo, but don't worry, you can drive as Intrepid Striker. See how Morris uses that curve, flicks it through. Absolute great car control there.
Yeah, I think I can see where I'm losing some time against him. He's really getting that rear end out.
So I see that my wife is watching the stream at home from the comfort of my couch, considering I don't have load shedding at home. So big thank you to, once again, to my brother-in-law and Vince Merman allowing me to come and strip down my entire system to bring it here and bring you guys this live racing action.
Sarge yet to get a time on the board. Getting some trouble with track limits by the look of things.
So this is a Riot V38 and he's new to the season. He has joined us this season. I think Greg is his name. There we go. So Greg has joined us. Welcome, Greg. So you're the second Greg to join us. We do have Greg Campbell as well. And as mentioned earlier, 40 drivers have entered this league. So we are qualifying here for the top 16. Only 11 places available in our Alpha tier, and then we will be splitting the drivers into a Bravo and Charlie tier. That will be works on a relegation system where the top two will be demoted to the bottom tier, and the top two from the Charlie will be moved up. So that in picture, that is Carl Haldeman, the two brothers, Scott and Carl, both racing in our Porsche Trophy Challenge. Just remember, this is just the qualifying times, guys, that the guys are putting in. We are taking the average of their best lap across 3 different sessions to make sure that they get an average, and that is the time that we will be using. Ross, what do you think about that new format?
I think it promotes not only fast driving, but some consistency as well, which yeah, it's not always as easy as just pumping in one quick lap. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good way to sort out the Alpha from the Bravo drivers, and it should be quite a representative view, I think, of how the race is.
Well, in terms of the racing, that's going to be different because the guys will be in completely different cars. And Colin, he finished third in the Formula Renault, so he just missed that complete promotion into the Alpha tier. Just looking at his time, so he's up there 126.9. That 126 area is going to be extremely congested.
gonna sit on board with Marius when he comes to the end of the lap because I think he's going to get into the very low 24s.
I've just seen Lendl in third place, so he's got a 125.7. So Lendl, a Formula V driver, had lots of pace in the Formula Renaults, but just had lots and lots of bad luck. And here we see just about topping this second round in terms of the qualifiers.
Yeah, I think it could be quite a different order compared to the Formula Renault.
There we go. 124.9 for Lendl. So he's now broken into that 124 club. So he's definitely going to need to be someone that we're going to be watching as this evening goes on. So we see Daniel War Machine, who's saying possibly a 122.5. I do think that's an absolute tall order. I think 123 could be possible, having seen how close Marius was there. But we'll have to wait and see then.
Look at that rear end!
Marius is definitely not scared to flick it in. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Throwing the car in, making sure that he carries that speed through there and is getting that power down on the exit, where normally if you try and keep that car nice and tight, is that it does lose a bit of revs going up the hill. 124.0, sliding the car like that. Can you believe that?
This guy is on another level. Like, Marius has always been fast. But in the last year in particular, he's just gone to another level. He's puts in a lot of practice and it absolutely shows.
But you can just see how he's manhandling that car as he just takes a little bit too much curb there.
We're gonna have to reset and start again. See how Durkee's doing.
So Durkee's definitely going to be somebody to keep our eye on. Is that Durkee joined quite late on in the season in our Group A, and he came on extremely strong and managed to get himself in the top 5.
Yeah, Durkee's always a dark horse. You got to watch out for him. He's always got something up his sleeve. I was going to make wide there, Durkee. You don't want to be out there, pal.
Definitely not.
Let's see a bit further down the order. Colin's got a 26.3. It's not too shabby. Stage is on at 27.1. And then further down the order, we've got Greg, who's a wee bit off the pace. 31.8, so we can find some time.
How's old Johan VDV doing?
Johan's got 28.5 and about 4.5 seconds off the pace of Marius so far. Getting very, very wide in that last corner. Got somebody on his inside. He's lost it. He's got the rear end on the grass. The tail's gone around. Unlucky Johan.
So now rejoining the track is not in a very good spot because the guys will be carrying so much speed coming out of that the last corner, the 100R, and it's just about dropping that one gear, turning it in, and as we saw Marius just sliding it around there. So Daniel joining us from the US, he's saying that's how Porsche should be driven. As they do, as the Americans say, just whip, or is it just whip it? I clearly have a very bad American accent.
I didn't realize that they had corners in the United States. I thought it was all straight roads.
Oh. Daniel, we don't know who this guy is. We know he's from Scotland. He is not associated to us at all. No, Russ, you're always welcome, and we have made you an honorary South African, even though you are in Scotland. Exactly, lekker, man. We even saw you just asking the guys to get their invites in, and even dropping in some Afrikaans words there, saying "dankie." So yeah, we'll make you more South African than Scottish.
Alright, sounds good.
So Daniel has agreed with you. They are mostly left turns.
It's a nice time from Rudy, 25.1. Always on to watch. I can't see it. Where's he gone though?
I am so confused what's going on there. Oh. I thought that there was a disconnection because Rudy actually had to. I said actually. Why am I saying actually? Rudy retired out of the season due to him not having power in his area. So while he had internet, his power would keep going off. So he did withdraw, but it's actually fantastic to see him back here.
The Lendl, who is absolutely no slouch whatsoever, is nearly a second off the pace of Marius, so he's got some work to do.
Yeah, that
He's
is
probably staying in the alpha tier, but it's more bragging rights at this point, isn't it? How close can you get to Marius?
so.
It's a shame that we haven't got Radloff.
Yeah, Christopher Radloff, who's our alpha tier alpha, so to say. He's unfortunately not able to join us this evening, but he has secured his spot, and I would have loved to have seen him throwing this Porsche around and seeing how he compared himself up against Marius.
You see, like one of the differences between Marius and Lendl here. So Marius has really got that rear end kicking out in this last sector, whereas Lendl's a bit more conservative. That's when Marius is finding a bit of time. Oh, and Marius has had a bit of an incident.
Ooh.
That Porsche.
But I think that's the result of that, is that Marius is throwing everything he can on it, but obviously with that high risk comes high reward, and we've seen him bin it twice now and managed to get that one lap in.
Yeah, and it looks like he is in the pits for the rest of the session now, with only 1 minute 40 left.
Yeah, because if he goes out now, he's not going to be able to get those tyres up warm enough.
No, I was finding like 4 or 5 laps at least to get them up to temperature. The right hand side really takes quite a long time to warm up. If we, not sure if we can get any of the tyre temperatures up on this display here, but yeah, so the right hand side stays about 60 degrees, which is not very warm.
So just jumping on to see. So Reeve, yes, we can get you in. We will have to put you in the Charlie tier, but that does allow you to work yourself up into the Bravo tier and get you racing live with us on a Thursday night, and that is at 8 o'clock CAT for Central Africa time. So to my darling wife, if you're still watching, please just let me know if we still have load shedding or not. If not, I'm going to be emailing Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa and sharing some of my thoughts with him.
Johan's got some damage there. That Porsche has had a little bit of a love tap against the barriers by the look of things. But it's still going, so I think that might be a bit of a legacy incident.
Yeah, so what does happen is that even though the guys are picking up the damage and we see damage, it doesn't necessarily mean you got that little bit squirrely coming out of the 110R there. He crosses the line.
Does not improve.
Does not improve.
How's Greg doing? Still a bit off the pace. 31.8. Whereabouts is he on the track? Just started his lap, so he's got some time. He's got about 4 seconds to make up to get up the order.
But I heard that as he approached the second phase of that chicane, he came off the power where that foot should have been flat, a little touch of the grass, so that's going to send him off.
That's done and dusted by the look of things. So Lendl's just about to finish his lap.
Let's see if he's able to get a little bit closer to Marius 0.913. So yes, he manages to go a little bit quicker, So that puts him on a 124.8.
Date's crawling around, Sarge is crawling around, and we've seen Greg here go off. So I think this is the final order for the second.
Yep, I see that the countdown clock is stuck on 90 seconds. So I'm sure that the session will be ending soon.
That is not how you take the last corner.
And I must say, it is pretty scary because you want to keep your foot pinned. Because if you come off the rear, let's go, but you're turning with no grip whatsoever.
Excellent. So, have you got these times?
Making sure that I capture everyone. So I do have them, which means that we're able to head off to our next session. Ross, thank you very much. We will see you a little bit later on again as I head off to the third session.
Excellent. See you shortly.
Thank you very much, Ross.
Do they do this? Do they take the best time?
So that you know exactly what happens, Alex. Welcome, guys. This is round number 3. Everybody gets 3 chances to put in their fastest lap time around Sugo. We take those 3, we divide them by 3 to give you an average, and that is the time that you are posted, which means that you need to be going fast, but you need to be going fast consistently. I hope that was clear enough.
Just make sure that I haven't sent invites to the wrong people. Yes, so GNG Pickle, sorry, it was my mistake. Can you exit and join
the next one?
Is it the next one? Yeah, sorry about that, my mistake. I'm trying to send a friend invite. Just to make sure that this is not a coconut show afterwards.
Yeah, we are Code Coconuts, guys.
What does that mean?
So Code Coconuts means that you should not be saying anything that would insult someone's mother.
Or a child. Broadcast and Footfiery 2. Hi, Footfiery, I'm sorry I sent you accidentally an invite. Can you exit and join in the next round? Okay, sure, no problem.
Thank you, JJ.
Sorry about that.
Remember, just get jump on the stream and you'll be able to see all the action that's going down there.
Can someone invite Sarge? Sarge, where is he?
Yep.
That goes for you too. Hills V. Sorry, I was trying to send a friend invite. Can you join in the next round, please?
Yeah, cool.
Sorry about that. Tell me, who's Sarge?
The stream invites him out. Sarge is supposed to be here. He is the director.
He's director. Okay, cool.
I sent him an invite. Is he here? No.
So Batman RSA is having connection issues.
And I think that's everybody in and ready to go.
That is fantastic, Sarge. Just join me in the Discord, please.
He's scary.
Guys, enjoy it.
Okay, are we ready to go?
And Connor, it's about time that you got yourself your own PSN ID, eh? Just say.
Dylan, how's it going?
How's it? So your first session in the Porsche, how did that go?
Not as good as when I was practicing by myself.
Because now that the pressure's on, right?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But at least there's still another 2 sessions coming up, so we can improve.
So after this session, everybody would have had an opportunity to have at least one go. There are some guys that will start doing their second qualifying round. We are into the third of the 8 sessions this evening, and we are running a little bit behind schedule, but we should be not too late. As the evening progresses, it is going to start getting very, very exciting as we start getting into the latter stages, because we are making sure that the guys are going fast, but they're doing it consistently. One of our biggest entries yet. 40 drivers have entered into the series.
Yeah, I saw that when you posted it on the Discord. It's definitely going to be a very good season.
So the driver currently in picture, that is Brandon Hills. He has officially qualified in the Alpha Tier, having finished second on the Thursday night, the Formula 3.5 V8, sorry, the Formula Renault 3.5 V8. Thank you for the little flash here. Obviously, it knows that we're talking about him. Whoa, I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there between Brandon and Donovan. Donovan in a very, very yellow looking color. Oh, that is not Donovan in front of me. I thought that was Donovan. I was looking at the names in front of him. So, yeah, they were unfortunately out of sync there. But here we go. The guys have now done their first out lap. They will be coming around next time. The car stuck on the side of the track there. I wonder if that's not going to be a disconnection.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just lost somebody, and I was going to say, I think it's Donovan, but not. Donovan is on the screen at the moment, so it wasn't him. We just hope we were able to get that driver back in. So the fastest man on the track so far is Marius, a 1:24.003. What an absolute cracker of a lap for Marius.
Yeah, indeed, that was definitely a cracker.
And we did manage to get him do that lap going out the last corner, so through that 110R sideways, just throws it through there and then carries all that speed back up the hill. So I must say, it must be a little bit tricky for you, Sarge, using a controller, because this rear of this car wants to step out every time you put the accelerator on. Also understanding, if you add traction control to this car, then it just doesn't do what you want it to do.
Yeah, it certainly is a bit tricky on the controller to, especially going through the corners and that, to get the power down.
So some of the time starting to come through. That is Alex at the top there, 1:26.3. So Alex is a SARCO champion. On our live stream we did last week, we had mentioned that Alex had won the Formula Renault, our Renault Megane V6 trophy car. The league we were driving on a Sunday, managed to beat Jakes by 4 points in the end, and it just shows that practice really does go a long way. So 1:26.3. So while Alex is leading the time charge here in this third round, he's still 2.3 seconds off Morris's fastest time. So let's see now that we've got additional heat in the tires. He crosses the line, 1:25.8. So that brings that time closer to Marius. Another driver that we expected to go a little bit quicker is Craig, currently in second place with it, 127.3. And I think he'll get a bit of an advantage being in the slipstream of the car in front of him. So we'll see who gets an update as they cross the line. Oh my goodness, that's really confused me now, because if you look at 5th and 6th now, it's the two Brandons, and both of their names start B-R-A. So here we can see it's actually Brandon Hills who is in 5th place, and Brandon Dos Santos in 6th. So looking further down the order, we have the Horn Dog 1 at 29.3. And while the Horn Dog was the winner of the Group A on a Monday night, is that when we get to our Monday night series, he would have moved himself up into the Alpha tier. But unfortunately, not a very good season for him in the Formula Renault, so here he'll have to be qualifying and showing his worth. 8 and a half, but it was 8 3/4 of a minute to go of this session at number 3, and still a 125.4 is the fastest time. Just looking, the two Brandons still very close to each other. So Brandon Hills, he's dropped down the order. You can see he's now in a 7th place with Brandon Dos Santos. Oh, a pink car in the background. They're getting it very wrong coming up through the chicane there. So that was Brandon Dos Santos. He's pushing really, really hard there. And if you don't get that entry into the chicane correct, that little curb can push you off like we saw that.
Yeah, those curbs in the chicane can definitely throw you out if you don't go in there correctly.
You see Brandon running wide there, and that's just one of the things. Once you get yourself out of that rhythm, it's just so tricky to find that rhythm again. Brandon getting well out the way there. So just looking down the order, we've got Tyler Scott currently in 3rd place, 127.0 for him. And Robert Stoltz, a 127.1. So just under 0.0, or just under 0.1 of a second between Robert and Tyler. And they will be entering into this championship as two teammates, so I'm sure they've got their own little rivalry happening there. So now, earlier on we were chatting to Memo, who's currently in 8th place. He's only managed to get himself a 128.0. He did say he was able to get himself into the 126s, but it seems like the times are all in the 127s. As Memo crosses the line, does improve. It does not look like he has. With 6 minutes to go, there is still time for him to do 2 or 3 laps. But that will be the end of that. So actually quite interesting. I don't know if you saw some of the Discord conversation that was happening. Was that Memo had said that he was done with project cars, wanted to focus on Assetto Corsa. Then all of a sudden he started seeing the invites coming and the amount of people that were joining, and was like, well, he'll have to come out of Project Cars 2 retirement and come and join us in the league. So I think that's possibly why we're not seeing him higher up the order, and that's just purely from not practicing and not being racing the game for a couple of weeks. So Terry Wolford is definitely struggling with his car, a 140.6. But that looks like it might have been an outlap. So I think he hasn't been able to get himself a proper lap yet. So we'll have to see how that turns out later on. So guys, if you are on the stream, just let us know who you're supporting, what sort of times you're expecting from them, and we will definitely give you guys a shout out. We will say how's it, and I just want to welcome our new sponsor for this season 4 here for the Porsche Trophy Challenge. We have the Thrustmaster that have now joined us and are proudly supporting the drivers. And without Thrustmaster, none of this would be possible, so a big thank you to them. And we are really looking forward to this championship. If you've just joined us, this is the qualifying rounds for the Porsche Trophy Challenge. We will be splitting the drivers up into the respective tiers. With 40 drivers entering, we will have 3 tiers: a Alpha tier, Bravo tier, as well as a Charlie tier. The Alpha tier will be consisting of 16 drivers that qualify for that, and the Bravo and Charlie tier goes into a relegation type format. So each week we will have 2 drivers dropping down or moving up depending on where they finish in the race. So Colin van Niekerk, that is Nico, I'm sure we'll see him later on. He did have a qualifying and he got himself just about 4th in one of these sessions, so we'll keep our eye out there on Colin. Thank you so much. Colin is supporting SARCO this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I see the Brandon and Brandons are once again together, and luckily we're able to see that it is Brandon DeSantos ahead of Brandon Hills. Let's see if Brandon is able to go quicker as he crosses the line. So no change there. It looks like this might be his final lap this evening. We're taking a lot of that inside curb and going into turn number 2, or called the second corner, up into the 4th corner. Very tight, very tricky, the curbs through the S curve. Now we come up to the high point corner. This rainbow corner, whoa, great! I was going to say great control there by Brandon, but fortunately losing the car, losing the rear, going off there. So in pictures currently, that is Craig J. Thompson. He is in the second place, 126.2, the second fastest here. And unfortunately, with me not being at my own setup in the comfort of my own home, I wasn't able to get a second screen up and running. So we're not able to get the running total of those times for you, but we will get them updated as soon as we can, so that the drivers will know where they have qualified. Oh, and that's what happens, just touching the grass on the outside. Craig has to be very careful to get out the way, and you'll notice that the drivers are not allowed to use that reset button, because that reset button just creates absolute havoc. There's nothing more scary by coming around the corner, seeing a driver drift off the track to all of a sudden be planted right in front of you on the racing line. So that is the qualifying complete, and Alex not able to go any quicker than his 1:25.4. And I see Robert starts. He's managed to go quicker than Tyler now. So Robert in third place with a 1:26.6. And that Brandon is that Brandon Dos Santos in fourth? Coconuts, coconuts, coconuts. So we heard in the background there, that was Tyler Scott. His voice coming through. Oh my gosh, I'm sure that Tyler will have a little bit of a laugh there.
Yeah, it seems like Brando skills went quicker on possibly the last lap there.
Yeah, so Brandon Hills, he manages to get himself fifth with Brandon Dos Santos in sixth place, the Horn Dog down in seventh place. I'm sure he would have wanted to get himself a little bit further up there. Nemo not able to go any quicker, that 1:28, and it was Alex, that was Connor who disconnected there. So I wonder if that wasn't load shedding, because we didn't see him trying to get back in. Just make sure we have everybody. So we have all the drivers there. Just want to make sure we have the next invite. There aren't invites. So Ross, if you are watching, you're able to, I think it is Ross for the next session. There's the invite there.
Dylan, we'll check you on the next one.
Awesome. Only a pleasure to have you, Ryan. Thank you so much. So it seems very, very calm in this lobby.
It's too calm.
Yeah, the previous lobby there was no voice.
Right, so Dylan, you need to be the broadcaster.
Yes, please.
So, you need to be the director. Can I just confirm, like when I'm director, you can't see the stuff that I've got on my screen, you just see like the feed.
That's correct.
You feel like the controls. Right.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mel has a power outage.
Also, so we don't know who Michael is, Dylan. I've just got Michael down the list.
Michael.
I'm not sure if he raced in that second. I don't remember him in that second session. So maybe.
No. Okay, well that's interesting, but don't worry, he will still be able to enter in the Charlie tier. So Michael, if you are watching, apologies, we did try and get everybody to send our hosts the invites. So we are now round number 4, which means that Sarge, he is actually our director once again. Sarge, can you hear me? So 12 drivers will be in the session. So we once again have Lendl. Johan VDV is back with us. We then have That is Vaughan Hills, the brother to Brandon. Gavin is once again with us. That number 5, that is JJ, then Marius. 7th place is Carl. Then we have the brothers Scott, so the two Hardeman brothers together. Dane, he's with us in 9th place, with Jakes in 10th, Theo in 11th place, and Ross in 12th position. So Sarge, just confirming, do you have the director's role with us in this lobby?
Yes, I do.
That is fantastic, and I just checked our schedule. I see that you are with me for the next one when Memo hosts, and then we'll kick you out because that's when you need to go and do your next session of driving.
Yeah.
So the question I have for the guys that are on the stream, is Marius going to break into that 123? Just a simple yes or no. What are your thoughts there, Ryan? What do you think? Do you think he'll break that 123?
I certainly think it's possible, eh?
So Dirkie is saying yes, that it can happen. Dirkie is currently watching us on our Facebook page, so thank you, Dirkie, there for your comment. Just remember, guys, we are live streaming to both YouTube and Facebook, and we are reading your messages, so drop us a message and we definitely will say how's it. So a message from Yaku de Beer saying he's expecting to, or I suppose this is more hoping to see, a 123.5. Is that possible? Is that too far of a stretch? You can see how aggressive Morris is throwing that car into the corner. So guys, we'll start crossing the line now to put up the first official times, and Marius already jumps on a 124.9. So remember, the 123.5 wasn't done. Yakudabir was just saying that's possibly the time he thinks that we could get to, but you can see Marius in a bit of traffic, the driver just getting out the way in the black car. I think that might be Jake's. So Yakudabia is also known as a Mad Max. He is a fellow chasing beaver. So Memo, Yaku, and Marshall Steve the Flum all are racing under the Chasing Beavers banner. So I thought Jakes might be in the black car, but he has chosen the famous colors of the green Mumbas. Because Mamba fever, it's a thing. So Jakes is second place with a 126.8, and still the guys trying to find their way through, get some heat into those tires. But I see that Jakes looks like he might be. Oh, that was very close, but that is probably one of my favorite camera shots, is when it goes to the side there and you get to see the cars just flying past. It just gives you a good sense of the speed. Jake's touching the inside there, is coming out of the 110R, because you're doing about 160 kilometers an hour there. Oh, so the black car is Gavin. So apologies, I said that Gavin had joined us, but this is a different Gavin. looks like Dane's put that into the wall going backwards. 1:47 for him. So that looks like an outlap time, so that's not an official time. And Vaughan Hill's down in 10th place. Remember, he has qualified for this tier, so I'm sure it's just about getting track time for him. But a nice and aggressive coming through there and out of... Oh, I thought the track would actually have a name, but they don't even have a name for that corner. It is interesting. I better Google that. I want to see, because that doesn't make sense to me. Ah. So they call it SP in and SP out. That's good to know. Oh, sounds like we... Ooh, I thought that might have been the disconnection there. So, Ryan, interesting here is that Reeve is watching on our Facebook page. He's saying slow in and fast out of corners will give you the best time. The more you slide, the more seconds you lose. But then how do we convert that into Marius driving the way he's driving and going the fastest so far?
Yeah, that's a very good question, man. Well, we also saw in the Group A with Marius with the Cosworth, he drove with the rear stepping out all the time, and he was running at the top.
Theo going a little bit too deep there, going into the third corner. So Marius on a 1:24.7, so still that 0.7 of a second off that fastest time. Jakes and Theo, look at that, a 1:25.300 for Theo, 1:25.301 for Theo, for Jakes, excuse me, and it looks like we've just lost Scott. We saw him stuck in the middle of the track there, so he's now gone. So still 6 minutes left, is that he might be able to get himself in here and put in a time. Otherwise, the time that was up before his disconnection will be the time that we will count as his counted time there. You see Gavin just moving over, allowing Jakes to take that inside line. Gavin currently in the 1:26.1s and Lendl 1:26.1 as well. So Lendl's fastest time in the first heat that he drove, he did manage to get himself into a 1:24.9. So Lendl just over 2 seconds off his fastest pace there. Apologies, just over 1 second. So there's Lendl 1:25.2. So Connor, we see your comment there. What if we don't set a time in that session? Well, we're going to have to use very, very interesting calculations and see how we work that out. That wasn't something we had really hoped for. But stick around, let's get you in your next qualifier and we'll work it out from there. So on board with watching Port Fiery, we known as JJ on the Discord. Currently moving up the order now in 8th place, 1:27.4. Ooh, lots of curb on the exit of that chicane. That cost him a little bit of time there. Just see how the rear just kicks ever so slightly as you get onto the power. Now down, exit out of Rainbow Corner, and then heavy braking zone here into Horseback. So Ryan, when you hit in the brakes coming down the corner, does the rear not tend to want to slide out?
It does, definitely, yeah. Especially coming down that back straight.
So now through the 110R corner, just under 4 minutes left of the session. And see, Lendl, he's now managed to put in his a faster time. So that is Lendl's fastest time so far, 124.7. And he has now put himself ahead of Marius on a 124.75. So Marius 0.056 off Lendl's time there. But there's still time to get 2 laps in. I must say, just watching some of the drivers, seeing the faster guys coming around, just the etiquette, I'd say, just staying out of the way, not interrupting the drivers' lap times, that's really, really good to see. Yo, look at Morris sliding that car, going through that corner. I was about to say, I wonder if that's going to push him wide on the SP out. It looks like Morris has come off there, so I think that time was invalidated. So it would possibly invalidate the next lap as well. So Ron, here's something quite interesting, is that Durkee was saying that he saw somebody do a 123.5 in one of the practice sessions. That is absolutely flying.
Yes, yeah, that is definitely flying.
So it looks like we've got, yes, there he is there. So in 8th place, that is Scott. He's managed to get himself back in the lobby. So he managed to get in a time 127.0. And it looks like Johan VDV stuck in a 128. He's really struggling at this moment. So we have 1 more minute to go, and this will be the end of round number 4. So we are halfway, guys. So Ron, I see that you're the director for the next one, and then you'll just have one more job to do, and that would be to host the session number 7, and then you will be done.
Yep.
Ooh. Loss of the rear there for Marius, so I'm sure that he will just retire to pits. So 124.1 for Marius, Lendl 124.7. Then Theo he has also joined that 124 club, as well as Jake's 124.9. Just looking at Jake's time, is he hasn't improved there. So our Scottish International Ross 126.2 is just ahead of Vaughan Hills in a 7th place. And JJ in 8th, 127.0, as well as Scott 127.0, Dane 127.2, and Carl 127.8 with Johan VDV in the 128.0. Okay, so we have the final results are now in. I have them captured, so we're able to accept the next invite. So we're still waiting for the invite to come from Memo. There it is. So we can just jump straight back in there. So looks like all the guys are in. Sarge, did you get your invite?
Yes, I did, yeah. I'm joining now.
Maybe we're not gonna run these days, we're gonna have a GT4 one.
Yeah, no.
Maybe can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Can you make sure? Okay.
Yeah?
Can you make sure for us that the time progression is off on the system?
Was it on? Sorry about that. I had no idea.
I don't know if it's on C. I'm just asking you to check it out for us.
Is it supposed to be off?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Is the Dilemeister?
I know where we're changing the time progression. Time progression is off.
On qualifiers.
Ashley, welcome.
So what's the season supposed to be?
Spring.
Spring?
Yes.
Spring, okay. Okay, so that's good. I think everything's full.
Cool.
Ash, how's it going?
Memo, if we can just make sure myself is the director and Sarge, and then we can get going.
Wait, is everyone here?
Memo will need to make you the broadcaster.
And the director is Sarge, right?
That's correct. Thank you, Memo.
So Dylan, so sorry for joining you so late. I had to work.
We understand that, but what I'm able to do is let's give you that. Oh, it can. Hold on.
Slide Pete, yeah, I didn't see him. Sorry, Slide Pete. Actually, it was unintentional, man. Leaving you out. That means you're allowed to go as fast as 135. We're missing Ashley. I sent him an invite.
So actually, it sounds like the guys in the lobby are waiting for you. I'm assuming that you're not going to be driving.
Oh,
He was with me the previous year.
well, I would like to qualify,
And he was on his phone, so I don't know if he's still busy with the phone.
but I could do this from a driver's perspective.
That would be great if you're happy to do that. So guys, just send Ashley that invite. Is that he is?
I received it. Thank you, Dylan. I'm in the lobby now.
I've sent an invite to everybody. So we go?
We all go.
Tabasco goes live. So is Marshall. And Steven. Robert, are you there?
Yeah.
Very quiet.
So what are the times looking like, Dylan? I've got very little practice on this track so far.
Okay, so for you to qualify in the Alpha tier, you're going to need to be getting yourselves in the 124s.
Oh my word.
Because so far we have Theo, Jakes, Marius, Dirkie's just about a break in there. Lendl is down there. So I'd say a mid 125 and you're going to be safe. Because anything going into those 126s, there are at least 7 drivers in the 126s already.
Okay, so I did manage to do a 125 or mid 125 earlier. So let's see if I can keep that momentum going. But that was thanks to Dirkie, who sent me his setup. So I'm just going to load that again.
So thank you, Sarge, once again being in the background, the director for the 3rd time running. We just have one more session from Sarge, and that would be in session number 7, where Sarge goes back into the car and drives and is the host once again. So thank you.
No problem at all.
So guys, we are session number 5, and we have Ashley, so Solash, who's on the top of the list there. We will be just critting his driving from the commentary box. Ashley has joined us there. So guys, if you are watching, drop us a message, say how's it. We do love hearing from you.
So I see the track is 20 degrees Celsius at the moment, with the ambient temperature of the air of 18. So that's going to make for interesting racing for the tyres. The tyres, I think, will be difficult to get up to temperature.
Yeah, so it does take a little bit longer to get up to temperature. But and I think that these tyres you are able to put on the softs, am I right? Or they just
I'm putting on
this
the softs.
The softs, okay.
Now, for some reason, my setup that I got from Dirkie hasn't saved, so...
So it sounds like you need to be winging it.
I don't know. I'm just going to wing it now and make some changes that I know will help me a little bit.
So Sly Pete crossing the line. Let's see if he's not able to get a time, so this must be the first time that he will be going through. And Sly Pete is the last of the drivers that have an automatic qualification in this championship. Sly Pete having won the Formula Renault 3.5 V6 season for season 3. So Pete is the last of the 5 drivers that are automatically qualified.
So I'm just exiting the pits now, and wow, this car is all over the show at the moment. Ooh, got in somebody's way.
Looks like I was about to say, got into someone's way. That's not what you want to be doing, Ashley.
Oh my word. Unfortunately, I don't have my microphone plugged in.
Ouch.
Sorry guys.
So
let's try that again.
That is the risk that you have of talking while you're driving. It's the same the same distraction as driving on your phone. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The guys don't do it.
It's free. Oh well.
So looking at the front of Alex's car, it was Alex that you very kindly got smacked by.
Yeah, I'm just making for some entertainment, you know. Entertaining racing tonight.
So we saw the horn dog, he crossed the line but still not able to get a lap time in, so that would have been an invalid time that he would have put up there. Which a little bit frustrating there for him. There's only 10 minutes left of the session.
That was a very strange sound coming from my steering wheel.
We did hear that. Is that you in the white Porsche running wide?
No, it's just
Getting out of the way.
figments of your imagination.
I must say, you're definitely not making it easy for yourself here.
No, I am battling a bit. Tires are very cold. Car does not want enough slowdown.
Yeah, so the horn dog crosses the line and he goes fifth fastest with a 1:28.6. So far, a Dirkie the fastest on the track with a 1:26.2. A Dirkie did do a 1:25.2 earlier, so he is just under a second slower than his fastest lap time. 1:26.9 from Rudy. That is great to see. So Rudy, for the last 2 championships that he has driven, he has tried and he keeps just finding himself in that cutoff between the Alpha tier and the Bravo tier. So we are really rooting on for Rudy here to get himself into the Alpha tier. So all eyes will be on him a little bit later once he finishes off this qualifying session.
It's not so fun when you can't hear your engine. See if I can put a little bit of volume without disturbing you too much.
Horn dog 1:26.8, so good time there for him. Then we see Alex 1:27.0. Tyler Scott down 1:27.3. Slight peak 1:28.1. Robert 1:28. As I said, that Robert drops down the order because we have Colin who moves up 1:27.3. So 0.041 between Tyler and Colin. And as I say that's still right, but it was slight peak that moves himself underwater 1:28.1, going ahead of Robert. Then we have Terry down in 9th place with Memo in 10th. Then Greg in 11th place with Ashley down in 12th, still looking to get a lap in. Actually, your car looks like it's sliding all over the place. It might be just a little bit of lag. We're not sure who's behind you as you cross the line, and you get a 1:29.6.
Oh. Sorry, Andrew.
So 125.6 that puts me right up at the top of the listing. And we are faster than we did. That is impressive to see. He's getting himself out of the way from the driver coming up from behind him. Unexpected colour there for Dirkie. We'll be driving a sort of a yellow car, but taking the, what I'd say is peppermint green. That was close. So I just wanted to know if you held your breath when you saw Dirkie going around the outside there. See Dirkie crossing line to 125.8, so he did manage to get himself a little bit quicker. So just over 4 minutes left of the session. Sessions left before this evening. We'll start looking at finding out who has qualified for the Alpha tier. So we're on board with Colin, currently down in 7th place with a 127.2. I'm assuming that Dave is on the screen watching his following his best time. So Dave, if you are watching, say how's it, let us know if you're going to bring in a fight to him in this season. I know that you guys were having a great season together, but some disconnections and road shedding for you didn't allow you to get right up there, making that car through, coming out of SB out. I'd like him to get a little bit close on the inside here, coming out of the 110R. Might be able to get a bit of a toe coming up the hill. Across the line, Colin goes a little bit quicker, 126.9. Brandon DeSantos is showing his support here for Ashley, saying, go Ashley, 128.4 for Ashley. Come on Ashley, the guys are rooting for you. Dirkie is peppermint green, running a little bit wide, coming out of the rainbow corner. So Brandon, currently anything in a 125 seems to be safe for now. We have 10 drivers that are currently there, but we'll have to just wait and see. With 3 more sessions to go, anything can still happen. So Ashley now crosses the line. Does it go? So Dirkie did a 125.21 in his first session, and now he's done a 125.26. So Dirkie is pretty consistent there. Tyler Scott coming out of the third corner now through the S's. We'll come up to High Point. So Tyler on a 126, so I think we might just be out of that cutoff. Line there for Tyler coming through the bottom corner after the long straight. Now through SB out. Now one of my favourite parts of the track. You can see nice tight line, but it might just wash him out a little bit. He's managed to just correct that line on the exit. That is the end of the session. Tyler finishes on a 126.2. Alex 126.1. Then Robert in a 125.7. That's a great time there for him. So Sarge, thank you once again very much for joining and directing. We'll see you on track, and then you'll be able to get your rest while you get to enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah, thanks very much, Dylan. We'll take you on track.
Fantastic. So guys, that now brings qualifying session of 5 to an end, and it looks like more 125s are happening. So anything under a 125 or slower than a 125 looks like it's not going to get you into that lobby, into the alpha tier, I should say.
Oh, that was difficult, Dylan. That car was very difficult to get the tires up to temperature.
So it almost makes me think that's possibly why Morris was doing that, and that's why he possibly had so much grip, just throwing their car around, getting as much heat in the tires as possible very early on.
Yeah, first you battle to brake on the first corner because the tires just lock up. So it might be that I didn't adjust my brake bias correctly. And then, yeah, it's just sliding around pretty much every single corner. And I see I'm losing time in the final sector as well. Actually, no, I was the quickest. It's interesting.
What's going on?
Yeah, members director.
Broadcaster. And then Sarge, you're racing with us, yeah? Is that right? Yeah.
That is correct.
Right, are we good to go then?
Then we're good to go.
Let's lose. Oh no, that's wrong thing to say. Let's win.
Little do you guys know, I've been sandbagging the first two
That's good.
Those were warm-up laps.
I've got a 109 flat in
We're just ignoring you, Memo.
No, remember, I can't hear you. I'll just listen to the bunch of coconuts that are being said in the lobby as we go in, just before we go into our director's role. Then we can't hear the lobby anymore. So you can see that the guys are chatting in the background there, but we can't hear them anymore.
Probably. How rude, Dylan. How rude.
As I told you, they can still hear us.
It sounds, Dylan, like you've fallen into a toilet.
Yes,
109.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Oh, come on.
I hope not.
Really? Need a life test.
No, what happened here?
Everybody know I've got a headlight button.
Ross,
Yeah.
you should not be able to hear me, and can I tell you why?
Why?
It's because I'm driving.
You're in the race.
Can you retire a bit?
That's very interesting. So let's retire and spectate.
Like, it wouldn't let us proceed without a director, right? Or a broadcaster.
Need to be restarted.
No, so what is happening is that even though Mem was a director, I need to be the broadcaster, but you can proceed with a director, but that's fine because I'll be able to do a directing role. So apology guys, is that you will be able to see what's happening behind the scenes. So what you're seeing now is the controls that essentially our director has. So just got to make sure I can grab my controller.
I can't hear what you're saying. I'm just going to get what you're saying. You just want me to be the director and then you just broadcast whatever I'm showing. Well, I'm going to show you in the pit. There you are. Really nothing. Let's go over to cars.
There's a pretty banged up Porsche over there. I don't know what happened.
So Memo, I don't know if you are still able to hear me, but with me essentially monitoring is I have control of the cameras. So I wasn't made the broadcaster.
I'm controlling the cameras.
Not, you're not controlling what's coming through on the screen. I am. So who we currently are looking at is Vaughan Hills.
Oh no.
As we say that, Vaughan Hills cracks under the pressure, so I will turn my in-game mic off, guys, and I'll stop playing with your So we're moving off Vaughan Hills' camera. I'm joking.
Go to Gavin.
So you see, as I move on to Gavin, Gavin runs himself just a little bit wide. So 127.2 for Ross, that's Connor 128.3. That did sound like it was Brandon, yep. So the comment coming through is that saying that he died is that he's now tied into pits and on his way out once again. Thought you might have the Brandon duo going on the game. So Craig coming around out of the 110R hill. Now across the line to put in the time 127.1. Just want to have a look to see how that is shaped up from his earlier time. It didn't have a time there for him because it's still in the 127s. We need 126s. So my eyes were not deceiving me because that is Brandon DeSantos in the pink colors, and right at the bottom here we have Brandon Hills. So you'll see, guys, is that we don't necessarily have the drivers' names on, so luckily I do know the names of the drivers. That is one of the things that's happens in online racing, is that not only do you learn the driver's real name, but you got to learn their PSN name as well. And then to add the complexity to that is you've got to figure out the first 3 letters of that PSN, and so it all starts coming together. But eventually, you get used to it.
No, if I'm lagging, then I've got a problem. I'll see you guys later.
Cool. Cheers.
So I need to sort out my internet.
Let's jump on Ross, because he was saying earlier on that he was just taking a little Sunday drive. He was sandbagging, and now this is where he wants to turn up the heat. But I think that he's just trying to cover up there. So across the line for Ross, still 126.7. Still very close in that 126 range. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to take those final spots there. So there's Gavin, 126.2. Jump on the Vaughan Hills. We heard him earlier, we jumped on him. Just mentioned his name and we saw him going off at the S's. Running a little deep into the third corner. That might help him. He'll have a late pink cross back into the wall there. That was Brandon Dos Santos, I believe. Oh, Brandon. There's Brandon there. So I must apologize, as I still don't know if that is indeed Brandon Dos Santos, but I think it isn't, because he was driving in the pink livery earlier on. So Craig, a 125.2, that's going to help his cause get up there into that alpha tier. They're now on board with Brandon Hills in the Canary. I'm glad that we were able to get that sorted. 127.1 for Brandon Hills, out qualifying Brandon Dos Santos, who was 126. Sarge 127.1 as well. That's a great time for that. There's an improvement there for him as well. Really great to see. Ross 126.7, and currently Vaughan Hills is the fastest hills in the world.
Sorry for not saying anything on the stream here, but I've really got some bad sound coming from you, Dylan, on my side, so I'd rather not just say anything.
That's fine, Memo. I hear you loud and clear. So to the guys who are on the stream, can you just confirm that my sound is coming through clearly? Memo, who's joined us on the Discord, saying that my sound is coming through very strange. The loss of the rear there for Brandon. Gavin, he's got himself up into the trackside, 125.8. So that 125 club is getting very, very long. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Colin. Saying that the sound is coming through clear. That is great to see.
Dylan, do you perhaps have visuals for me to, or to share with me?
I saw your WhatsApp standby. And there you go.
Fantastic.
So Craig, 125.1. So Craig is going faster and faster now. And it looks like if you're not in the 125s, you're not getting into the Alpha tier. And that's just how competitive this tier is now becoming. Gavin running just a little bit wide there, coming out of the second corner. Connor 126.4. I'm going to see how he's shaping up. And I must say, Ashley, I love the rivalry between the two Hills brothers, and I'm sure Vaughan will be very happy that he'll be able to say, according to the Porsche Trophy Challenge, that he's the fastest Hills in the world. Sound of that Porsches and that are coming out of the Porsche. I think it's called horseback actually. Horseback corner, not horseshoe. Oh, I saw some of those pollards in the middle, and that completely put Connor off. You can see they're coming out of the last corner at that 110R, those ballards out, and if you touch those little ballards, they will destroy your car. Ryan down into a 126.8. That is a great improvement there for him.
I can see Ross has opted for the compact version of the Porsche.
Well, let's just go have a look and see what you're saying. So, yep, definitely a compact version, both front and back, and running a little bit wide into turn number 1. I'm sure that's going to be some sort of invalidation there. But not only is it front and back, it looks like it's been hit on the sides as well, so it definitely is a lot more compact. So looking at JJ in 6th place, 126.8 for JJ. So he's also now moving himself further up the order. And the two Brandons, we just have to wait to see which color this car is. So it is Brandon Hill's fastest of the two Brandons so far by, what is that, 0.076 of a second. Then Donovan in 10th position and Scott Hardeman down in 11th place.
So I'm just looking at the track temperature, Dylan, comparing to Austin, seems to be a little bit of difference there. Do you think that'll give the guys a little bit of advantage?
I think that the track temperature on my side is saying that it's 22 degrees. I think that's what it has been throughout.
Okay. Just need to check that, because I definitely remember being air temperature 18 degrees and the track temperature was only 20.
So
but we'll check that, make sure that is correct on the next one.
So at 2 degrees, it's not really going to make much of a difference. So that is the qualifying round done. Just 95 seconds left of the session. So the guys that are on a current lap. You can hear Connor not happy with that lap. Let's see where he is. Oh, Brandon sliding that car, just about taking those ballots. So that will be the end of that lap for Brandon. So now we can look at the slower of the two hills in this session. I'll just be very clear. The slower of the two in this session.
Yeah. Right, now guys.
So Brandon Hills will cross the line, the slower of the two hills, and Vaughan Hills, the fastest hills in the world, within this session, will finish off in 8th place, or 7th place, apologies, ahead of the other Brandon. So the two Brandons very close together once again, causing a bit of problem, but thank goodness we were able to differentiate them through the bright yellow and bright pink.
Fastest hills on the planet.
So we'll let Vaughan take that as bragging rights as being the fastest hills on the planet for this round.
He can have it. He can have it.
So I'm just going to exit. We are going to be waiting for Sarge is the host for the second last. Yeah, that's right. The second last round of the evening.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to get back onto the track again and improve my time, because at this stage I think I'm going to be in the Bravo tier. But it's kind of what I expected with all the fierce competition that's been coming through the ranks and joining SARCO. Some professional drivers as well, so it was bound to happen. That's my excuse.
Just to put your mind at peace, is that this has been the most entries that us as SARCO have had in one season at the beginning. Is that while we've had the likes of 38 drivers coming through a season, we've had 40 drivers enter.
Wow.
From the beginning of the season. And that is definitely a new SARCO record.
Oh, that's fantastic to see. And also good timing with our new sponsor coming on board, Thrustmaster. I'm sure they going to be watching this tonight and putting their name out there and seeing what's going on here and seeing the support that we're getting. I'm quite excited for the new season.
Yeah, and just remember, this is the first season of 3 seasons being launched. 3 leagues being launched this season. So we do have this Porsche Cup. We have our Assetto Corsa League starting on a Sunday evening, as well as something very special lined up for Monday. We haven't quite released that just yet, but just check out Friday evening. We will drop some hints of that and get the guys qualifying on Monday, but we do think that one's going to be a cracker.
Somebody send something Will do.
So we're just being patient, knowing that Sarge was racing with us. So he's just getting his the lobby up and running, and we will be going in the next few minutes. Just want to see if I'm not able to assist.
Jake, Marius, Jan, BDB.
So if you've got the list next to you of who needs to be invited, just let me know.
Intrepid, SARCO, Jakes, in,
Jakes is in. Let's get Intrepid Striker.
Nice. On his way.
Okay, I see Lendl needs to be here as well.
He just came in.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Convoy.
Mole needs to be. Oh, Mole needs, yeah.
Yeah, I see there's
We need your VDV. Your convoy.
Okay, Johan BDB, I have him.
Michael. NGC.
Dan is here.
Dylan Convoy, if you have.
I should have him, but I'm not seeing him.
I'll take the one instead.
So for the guys who want to get involved in SARCO, please go check out our website, sarcoracing.co.za, or you can check out our Facebook page to find out any details there. Yeah, please come and join us. We're looking for as many drivers as possible to come and join in the fun. And yeah, show us what you can do.
But just remember that we are officially coconuts.
That's payback, boys.
Sarge, you need to make the broadcaster, please. Watch yourself. Thank you, kindly. There we go. So it looks like Carl's still missing.
Hi guys.
Put a coin in the meter. There's a lobby before us, and then it's us again. Yeah. I'm just getting everybody in as soon as possible, trying to help the situation.
Is there a spot for me there, Dylan, so that I can...
Yes, there is.
So hold on, GNC Pickle is Scott, right?
Yeah, but we need his brother. We're looking for Carter Boy. He's not yet.
I don't think it was online.
No, so he's not online, so we'll have
Rudy is here, Riot, Sly Pete, Splash, Steven, Stoltz, 44, I invited him already. Tabasco Troy.
Okay guys, so round number 7 is officially kicking off. So remember, we have muted you because you were coming through on our stream. So guys, only 2 more rounds left to go, and we are running late. Apologies. I just hope that there isn't a curfew, otherwise I'll have to be avoiding some roadblocks on the way home. I didn't quite think of that. So Ross is back in the directing position with us. Ross, here in the Discord is the question.
Hello.
I'd like
Yes,
to know,
I'm here.
and
Yeah.
there you are. So, Ross, you said that for the next round that you were now starting to meet business. How did that work out for you?
I find it difficult to get really up the pace. I had a lap just at the end of my last session that I slightly stuffed up, and I think I was gaining about half a second on my best pace so far. So it's been a bit of a learning curve for me, but
I suppose that you are one of the fortunate ones that have qualified for the Alpha tier already. So when you go into those GT3s,
read it and wait, Remo.
you're able to take control, I suppose.
I've got such a coconut eating grin right now, you wouldn't believe. I'm having loads of fun. How are we doing on track? So who are the people who won? Look at that segue. So Marius, this guy here in the red car, he is going to be absolutely rapid. So from Marius, he's going to dip into the 23s again. Are we going to go even faster? Has he been saving his best for last?
Well, the guys on the stream have been saying that they're waiting to see a 23.5, because apparently someone has done a 23.5.
How's Alex done this evening?
So he hasn't quite broken into the 25, so I haven't really been keeping track of those scores for him. I keep saying scores. It's times.
So this isn't going to be Marius's absolute best pace. He's just still warming up the tyres, but you can already tell he's on it. He's a whole other beast today.
Running a little bit wide there, touching the grass. So I managed to figure out what I wanted to figure out. So while Ashley is still driving, we're able to sort of
So I'm glad to see that Jacques was able to join us finally. He's had some power issues this evening, so good to see him out there. He's got some time to make up, but he's got all four wheels on the road, and that's the important thing.
okay, gents, let's start off with Jackson 1, 2.
Nice time from Lendl, 125.5. 3. It's a bit deep though.
So that is slower than what he's done. He has gone down to a 1:24.7. So still some time there for Lendl to go and find.
Yeah, about 6/10 for him to find there. Let's see what gears Marius is using.
So he doesn't touch the brakes at all, he just flicks it and lets the wheel rotate.
Yeah.
Applies that pressure.
Absolutely guns the throttle to steer it around. Is Nemo having his own conversation here?
No, so what's happened is I had muted him while he was getting the other lobby up and running, and now because I've lost my pointer, I'm unable to unmute him.
I just sent him a message to tell him to shut up. Right, how we're looking? Jake is up there too with a 24.5.
Okay, I have my mouse pointer back. Now we can unmute Memo. So Memo, we can now hear you.
Looking tasty from Jake's here. What we're gonna have? Doesn't improve on his time, but he's up there. 24.
So Jake's fastest time he's put in is on 124.2, so he still has some time to find. Morris 124.3. Remember he did that crazy 124.00.
Yeah, looks like Morris has been in the walls. He's going to reset and have another go.
So on board with the Peppermint Durkee, fourth place currently on 124.6. His fastest time, having a look here, was a 125.2, so he's also got some pace to find there. And just remember guys, we are taking the fastest lap each of the drivers are doing over the 3 sessions that they've each had an opportunity to drive. We will then take that average, and that will be the time that is used for qualifying. So this is interesting that Durkee's been able to get himself behind Morris. I wonder if this is going to help Durkee. He really took a lot of that inside curve. I see he's just allowing a little bit of space now, possibly realizing that he might be hampered as he goes down the track.
Yeah, I was wondering if he might have used the opportunity to get a bit of slipstream there, but turn one's pretty tricky if you're right behind somebody, so maybe better off just giving himself a bit of space there and trying to follow Morris's lines a bit. But it's very early on the throttle though. Maybe best. Looks like Jacques is improving. He's got a 26.185 on the board. Where do you think the cutoff time is looking like?
Honestly, if you're not in the 25s, I think you're possibly in in that cutoff. So anything 26 and above, I don't see the guys qualifying, because if we just have a look now, so Morris, Jakes, Lendl, Dirkie, Theo, there's already 5 drivers that are on that cutoff. But now we know that Theo, he did go into the 25s a little bit earlier. But if we take those 5, we still have Rudy, who's gone in the 25s, Roberts in the 25s, Gavin's in the 25, Craig is in the 25. It's going to be so close, honestly.
It's not much in it. I think the format is really going to help some guys where it's all about consistency. So we've been able to pump in at least three decent laps across the sessions. And not just a one-hit wonder, as I would describe my own qualifying prowess.
Listen, I've never really been a good qualifier, and I know that even in the 5x5s, man oh man, having a little bit of fun there, and I always find myself starting near the bottom because you push so hard to get a good qualifying time, and generally doesn't happen. And I have found myself even just driving in our previous championship when I drove in the V8s, is push and get myself down into 10th and 8th place. So some messages coming through, guys asking if they're safe, what's happening, am I through? We don't know. Currently it's all speculation.
It's all to play for.
It sounds like someone spun off coming down on the horseback. So
Dane's car's looking up.
Yeah, so somebody actually commented to say that it looks like Ross is going for the compact version of the Porsche, and it hit both front and back, and it looks like it had some side damage as well. So it definitely was a lot a lot more compact.
A mini version. Looks like Johan's had the same problem. Oh, very Larry there.
So that looked like that was auditioning for a Fast and Furious drift video.
So how many points is it, Dylan, for each drift that you do?
It depends how much smoke is thrown up. So I'll give Johan VDV an 8 out of 10 for that drift. But now you'll run a little bit wide and not getting that entry.
That's minus style points, isn't it?
That is. But not only minus style points, is that's going to hamper his qualifying time.
Worst of both worlds.
So just under 2 minutes left, and we have Dirkie in 125.5. Lendl, he does a 124.9. So he's in those 124s again. Jakes is in the 124s, and Morris are 124s.
So Jakes is looking to improve on his 24.5. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him.
So I think that's Ashley.
That's Ashley. It is indeed Ashley. Cameraman Tim is obviously been on the liquor this evening.
Yep. And I think what's happening is that Ashley is on a hot lap.
Yeah. Not wanting to give way to Jakes.
Not wanting to give way, and this is the thing. They are both fighting for that fastest lap. Ashley could very well be on the cusp here. You can see him running a little bit wide.
50 seconds left.
So
to get the next spin.
And the question is that do you give way, or do you just commit to your lap?
It's tricky. I think Jakes could have given himself a bit more of a gap here, because he's going to ruin this lap if he gets too close to Ashley in this twisty first sector here. He's already slowing him down.
See, Dr. Fish is saying that he signed in too late. Is that qualifying 2 or something? So, Dr. Fishy, there isn't. What we'll do is we'll just check out the Discord. We'll chat to you. Looks like Ashley's got a little bit of lag there, and I think that might be hampering Jake's line there as well. But again, both drivers on their last attempt to qualify. So we know that Jake's is right up there, so he would have qualified. Ashley running wide, but that's going to be lag because you'll see he'll pop right in front of Jake's once again. And it is not easy to drive with somebody doing that. So we've got Alex, our Renault Megane champion, saying you got to commit to the lap.
Gotta commit. Absolute send. Full send.
Full ascend. Can we just jump to Ashley quickly? Just want to see where he landed up. Oh, he's in the pits. So what if he didn't lose it and lost direction and landed in the pits? That's a very strange place for him to be stopping.
It is indeed. Maybe he ran out of... He did! He's run out of petrol. Look at his indicator. I can see his indicator.
No way. That is so funny. So even though he was on an absolute flyer of a lap, he wasn't able to complete the lap. Hey, listen now. Ross, let's not talk about running out of fuel here.
Well, like, your teammate, your ex-teammate, Jake's, is the person to ask about that.
I have to agree with you there. Right, that is done and dusted. Let's head off to the last of the qualifying sessions.
Okay, I'm just going to get a cold beverage and I'll rejoin you.
Fantastic, because Ross, you are the director. Just make sure that you do get your director's role there from Memo.
Memo has just invited us. Well, about 10 minutes ago invited us. 2 seconds.
You can go looking for the Loch Ness monster if you want to.
Where are we supposed to see our like times? Where we
Nemo, can I be the director, please?
Just for some clarity, Tyler, is that the idea was to be updating it as we went, but because I'm only running off a one-screen setup, I wasn't able to do it, but we'll get it all sorted. So we'll just have to draw out the suspense.
Nemo, can I please be the director?
Oh, yes, sure. Are you talking to me now?
I'm always talking to you.
Don't remember me told you to shut the fuck up.
Hey, Tyler!
No.
Oh, sorry.
Coconuts. Well,
Whoops.
Thank you, Alex.
And he actually didn't use any coconut words. It was just, shut up. But it was a very strict mood.
Much love for the old Memo.
Are we good to go?
You guys want some thumbs up?
Good to go. Get those thumbs up, and let's get lacking the last session of the evening. Enjoy, guys.
Rock and roll.
Remember, guys, it's your average time that counts. So it can still be lost at this point. If you whack in a 2-minute 3.
Minute 3, my goodness, imagine that. Or not even that, is you use your outlap because you invalidate your laps and it gives you the 140 odd, which is what that outlap time is.
Oh, so who's at the top of the billing for this session? We've got Alex, I just saw. Who else have we got racing with it?
So I think Alex is going to be one of those drivers that is going to be on the cusp. He'll need to get himself into those 125s.
Yeah.
But so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers. And we've got space for 11.
Okay, so on board with Alex. in the black GT3 RS. It's rather tasty. What colour would you go for, Dylan? That's a silly question.
It has to be
Mamba Fever.
Mamba Fever, Ross. That's the thing.
I've heard. I've
not only heard, Ross, but you've experienced it firsthand, haven't you?
I've been Mamba Fevered, I've been Mamba Sandwiched, I've had it up, down, sideways. It is a thing, boys and girls. And it's very, very scary. This whole coronavirus business, nothing in comparison to Mamba Fever.
So I see that there's a Brandon in the lobby, so currently in second place. Just jump on so we can see who Brandon. That is the Brandon Santos here. Fantastic. Yeah.
Getting a bit airy towards the end of the lap, warming up those tyres.
Big catch on the, I'd say the wheel there, but it's actually the controlling joypad. Because Brandon is on a controller.
Yeah, so you might realise that if you look at his on board, it's quite twitchy, the steering wheel. Switch. Always just clops a bit of curb. I mean, that's done the rest of the guys a bit of a favour. He'll have to reset and start again. But you can see when the next drivers come through here, it's removed some of that barrier on the inside, so you can take that line a bit tighter, which I think can give you a bit of an edge.
But those, if we see as we jump on board with Greg, is that some of those are just on the inside line, so you would not want to be there. And I'll tell you something, is that when I'm going through that 110R, is I'm hanging right up on the inside, so that's would have definitely been in my line, and I would have been coconutted.
Absolutely. Very fetching pink livery here. Interested in the different fuel loads that people are taking. So we're roughly looking at about 20 litres, which gives you about 7-8 laps, I think.
So was your strategy to fill it up and just keep going?
Yeah, I mean, like those tyres, the more you drove them, the better they got. It's quite cold here in Japan, and yeah, it just the more mileage you put on those tyres, the better. So yeah, just fill her up, get some laps in.
So
how's the beast doing?
So Memo hasn't got a time in, but the driver I've been quite impressed with has been Rudy, because Rudy's fastest time he's managed to clock so far is a 125.6. So he's going to be up the order. And poor Rudy has been trying to get himself into the Alpha tier and has missed it just about 3 times in the last couple of seasons.
Lucky there was traffic. Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm racing against Rudy, I've always come up against the challenge. He's always one of the folks that can give you a run for your money. So yeah, he definitely belongs up there. Bit off the pace at the moment, 31.148. Sure he can stick in better than that. Current lap that he's on looked a bit interrupted in that first sector there.
Yep, so just over 10 minutes to go. The driver I thought we'd see a little bit more of is Andrew Horn, so he's currently on the 27.4, and he hasn't quite featured here this evening just yet, but I'm sure that once he gets himself into either GT4 or the GT3, well, I suppose it's not really going to be the GT3, but you're able to just set the car up a little bit more to your liking.
I mean, it's a different discipline. So, like, I've been struggling with qualifying recently because I've focused more on race racing. For me, that's more about a comfortable car. It's not necessarily the fastest, and as we know, fastest doesn't always win. But yeah, for me, it's all about a car that you can drive consistently on the edge, and you're not worried about taking it slightly over. Rudy's pumped in a 27 flat, so he's improving. Still needs a bit more pace, I think, to cement a time in the Alpha Tier.
Well, especially considering his other lap times were fairly strong. Is that he will have to go, and the other driver, is Robert Stoltz. He's also got himself in the 25s, so that would be quite an interesting turn of events if he does get himself in that Alpha Tier.
Yeah, he's looking pretty tasty. 26.4 is not too shabby. Nemo's still yet to set a time, 6 minutes into the session. What are you doing, pal? Same with Ashley. Ashley looks like he's got some severe lag problems. I'm going to jump away from him because any viewers with a sensitive disposition might not enjoy that so much.
Get a little bit seasick.
In my race feed information, I can see that Nemo's invalidating the track limits, invalidating his laps with going outside the track limits quite often. So hopefully he can keep it on the black stuff, get a lap in.
Alex 125.7. So we have a
5.8 as well. It's half a tenth of Alex's time, so really doing really well there.
So just having a quick look down the order, and I just hope that, guys, you're not taking what I'm saying as the gospel. Please, let's just wait till we get those final results out. But it does look like guys that would have qualified so far would be Theo, Jakes, Morris, Durkee and Lendl. Those are guys who are in the 24 club. Then it's this 25 club is going to be very close. So that's really Robert. Gavin just manages to get himself in there. Craig, very low 25, so I think he'll be there. And then it's between Alex, Rudy, and Robert. So there's still everything to play for in these final 7 minutes of the 8th qualifying session this evening. Each driver being given 3 slots to put in their fastest time. We take the fastest time of each of those sessions, get an average, and that is the time that the guys would use. That's quite an interesting entry there for Ashley. It looked like he just about handbrake turned him and slid the car all the way around there.
Yeah, he's got a very, very, very loose rear end, which is something I have not said before live on stream. It looks like his lag issues have been resolved a bit, but yeah, he's extremely tail happy on that car. I wonder what he's done with the setup.
But it looks like he's using that slide to his advantage now.
I mean, I in the practice sessions I was joking about using the handbrake in this car because it is, after all, a road car with a fully functioning handbrake. But yeah, it looks like he's. It's almost like the way that Marius gets around the corners.
Oh, he's going to hold it.
Oh, someone's had a bit of an off.
That was a little bit of a leg there for Ashley, just coming on the straight. But we'll see when he crosses the line. There we go, Ashley, 126.2, so he has gone quicker. Andrew Horn, 126.3. Some jumping around there for Ashley now, but we did manage to get some sweet drifts there by Ashley. Even Theo's jumped on and said, "Way to go, Ash!" So he definitely appreciated that.
A few drivers in the 28s. So we've got Brandon, 28.4, with Terry, 28.5, Mimo, 28.7. Come on, pal. Stick it into top gear. A bit of traffic coming up here.
It does look like, no, not on the grass, Memo. That's not going to be slowing you down there.
Right, still got a bit of pace to find, 130.166.
So this is Greg's first time that he is driving with us here at SARCO, so I think he's possibly just feeling his way.
Yeah, I think he has settled himself on the curb a wee bit there on the entry. He got the outside left wheels on the curb, which unsettled him. And how's he looking here? Yeah, a bit of a late apex there. Missed the ideal line, I think. So he's quite late in getting into fourth gear and into that last corner there. I think most drivers would be going into that in fourth gear, maybe a slight lift, no braking, just kind of a confidence lift if anything.
But I must say, when you come from racing against the ARs, you definitely feel like you're unstoppable. When you get yourself into an open lobby scenario, you do realise that the guys are pretty quick up there. But it's being exposed to a lot of different drivers, being helped with setups, you start increasing your racecraft as well as getting quicker, and it's just by racing with people better and faster than you.
Yeah, I remember vividly my first races with SARCO, and I thought I was Billy Big Coconuts, and then raced against the likes of yourself, Dylan, and Jake, and Marius, and our departed friend Tyler, and yeah, I realised that I'm merely mediocre, which is it's humbling, I guess.
But the thing is that even though you say you're mediocre, you're still able to have absolutely fantastic battles, and you even got yourself on a podium. So you say mediocre, then you still have the abilities.
I think it's a lot of it's about consistency as well, and like playing it safe. So especially in that Formula Renault, like that car is so delicate that you have to just stay out of trouble and finish the race. And like more often than not, if you finish the race, you've got a decent position, because other routes are having trouble with like having to pit multiple times for damage or retire completely with like terminal damage. So yeah, I mean it might be a bit different in the GT3 and GT4 series coming up, because these cars are a bit tougher. They're a bit more eager to race wheel to wheel. So yeah, we'll see what we can make of it.
So did the notification come up that Andrew Horn got an invalidated lap? Just watching him going up into turn number 1, he carried a little bit too much speed. I think that was because of the slipstream that he got from Ashley's car.
I've not seen on the race feed that he's got the lap invalidated. That might still be pending. That you might only get it if he doesn't slow down. But nothing so far for Andrew Horn. So it's last minute.
Alex has gone quicker. He's got a 125.4. So man, oh man, the 125 club is getting extremely close. That was impressive. So we'll give him a 7 out of 10 for that. But unfortunately, all those star points have just been confiscated once again, Alex, for smashing it in the outside wall there.
So it's the last laps. Who's looking to improve? Ashley's got a good time on the board today, 26.2. Horn's almost the identical time.
Well, that's 0.004 of a second difference there. That is absolutely super.
Yeah. Those further down the field got quite a lot of time to find. Nuno on a 28.7. Greg on a 29.8 pretty much. It's a good showing for his first time with us though. I think, good on you, Greg. That's I think it's probably proportionately closer than I was when I was first racing with you guys. Jobs are good, and
all it needs is just a little bit of help understanding how the setups affect the car, just getting a sense of what he wants the car to be doing, help set up the car in that direction. What happens is you start driving the car to your style. But I must say that through my karting experience is I've always liked having a car that is very quick on the turning, and then the rear must just be a little bit loose just to give you that drift on the way out. But then having gone from Project Cars to Assetto Corsa, I had to reassess that driving style completely and be a lot more refined. So my setups are evolving as Pete crosses the line, 126.8 for him. So no improvement there for him. Ashley, he is looking really slow, so that would be the end of that lap. Andrew Horn, he's also on a slow down lap there. And that was that.
good job, guys. So, we'll have to figure out where everybody sits.
So thank you very much, everybody. We definitely will be getting those times out as soon as possible, so we're able to share exactly where everybody is qualified. The next step from here would be to get everybody into the allocated tiers, and from there we get to go racing next week Thursday with the Charlie and Bravo tier in the GT4s and the Alpha tiers taking on the almighty GT3, both cars being in the Porsches. So Ross, thank you very much for your help. I just want to see who is currently in the Discord with us. I see Memo was there, he's no longer, and Ashley is no longer there. So thank you to everyone that was on the stream. Guys, if you do want to see more of our racing to come, don't forget just to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the little notification bell, and if you are watching us on Facebook, like the page, and we have lots of more racing to come. But don't forget, this week Sunday we do the qualifyings for our ACC League on a Sunday, and watch out this coming weekend as well, is that we will be launching what the new series is for our qualifiers on Monday. A big thank you to our sponsors, Thrustmaster, who have joined us for the season. We do hope that this is the start of a long relationship, so thank you very much, guys. Ross, all I can say, thank you very much for assisting in not only getting the lobbies up and running, but also jumping in with the directing. To Memo and to Sarge, Ryan, thank you guys for your assistance as well, and yeah, getting Ashley to jump in with us and trying to commentate while he was going. That didn't quite go according to plan. So guys, thank you very much. Just keep checking out our social pages for the qualifying rounds. Ross, I bid you farewell.